3 years. 3 long, endless years. I counted every sunrise alone, every cup of coffee cold because I couldn't summon the energy to drink it. The world had moved on and so had she, or at least that's what I told myself. Man, you can't live like this forever, Saad said for what felt like the 100th time, shaking his head across the cafe table. I'm fine, I muttered, staring at the window. The rain had started again. Funny how it always seemed to follow me. You're not fine. You haven't even looked at anyone else and you never laugh anymore. Hina's gone, bro, accept it. I don't have to accept anything, I snapped, my hands trembling. She'll come back. She has to. Saad sighed. You're living in a dream, man. A dream that's killing you. I looked away, hearing a name whispered by strangers in passing. Hina. Always Hina. Rumors floated around like poison, that she had married someone new, someone older, someone powerful. I didn't want to believe it. My heart, stubborn and broken, clung to hope. Then there was Aisha, my coworker. Quiet. Observant. Never too close, never intrusive, but always there when the loneliness crept in like a shadow. Hey, she said one afternoon, leaving a file on my desk. I thought you might need this. Thanks, I mumbled, not meeting her eyes. But her presence, it was comforting in a way I didn't expect. I could talk to her without revealing the storm inside me. You've been distant lately, she remarked softly another day. You know, if you ever need someone. I'm fine, I lied again, the words tasting bitter. But I noticed her eyes. Not pity, not judgment. Just care. I hated how much that scared me. Every night, I followed rumors, checked social media, pieced together her new life like a detective obsessed with a case he could never solve. Every picture of her with a man, every mention of a home I once shared felt like a dagger. Are you seriously still looking? Saad asked one night, scrolling on his phone. You're torturing yourself. I can't stop, I whispered. I need to know. I need to see her. We drove past my old neighborhood. My pulse quickened. The house stood the same, walls familiar yet foreign. A light flickered inside. I slowed the car, heart hammering. You're insane, Saad said. Just leave it. I can't, I said, my voice hollow. I need to see it for myself. For a long moment we sat in silence, rain drumming against the roof. The old life I had lost, every laugh, every argument, every quiet morning, was wrapped up in that house. And somewhere inside, I hoped she hadn't changed completely. A shadow moved behind the curtain. A fleeting glimpse, just enough to make my chest ache. My breath caught. I felt a pull, an undeniable magnetism to the place that had been my home, my life, my world. Go, Saad said, finally understanding. Just go see her, man. Face it. I shook my head. No. Not yet. Not like this. I can't face her, not yet. But I have to know. I have to see it. Aisha's gentle words echoed in my mind. Sometimes the hardest truth is the one you avoid. And there it was. My past and present collided in a single heartbeat, a single thought. I had to go back. I had to confront the world that moved on without me. The rain fell harder now, drenching my thoughts, but I didn't care. My old house, my memories, my heartbreak. It was all calling me back. And for the first time in 3 years, I felt the pull I couldn't resist. Something was waiting inside, something I wasn't ready for. But I would face it, because I woke to light that felt unreal, spilling through the cracked blinds. My body ached, my head throbbed, but I was alive. Alive. I touched my chest, my arms, my legs, half expecting nothing to respond. This can't be real, I whispered, voice hoarse. I shouldn't be here. Saad's voice was in my mind, almost echoing from the past. You have a second chance, man. Don't waste it. I sat up slowly, staring at the ceiling. Memories of that night came in flashes. The crash, the screams, Hina's face, my last breath. And now, I had been given life again. Life, but with everything stolen. They think I'm gone, I muttered under my breath. They think I'm dead, they think I lost. I tested my limbs, my strength returning with each movement. A fire ignited in my chest. Rage, anger, betrayal, and a cold, calculating determination. Hina, I whispered, name trembling on my lips. You won't get away with this. I began watching them quietly from the shadows of the city. Every detail, every laugh, every smug smile from Cameron. They had no idea. No idea that I existed. They're arrogant, I said to myself, pacing the small room I'd rented. Cameron, thinking he owns her, thinking he owns everything. Hina, blinded, still laughing. Foolish. Saad's warning rang in my ears. Don't let them see you yet. Plan. Wait. Strike. I gritted my teeth. I will, I said. I'll show them what happens when they underestimate me. I remembered Hina's wedding, every gesture, every word. And now, knowing I could move, breathe, exist, I could take it all back, slowly, silently. I'll be like a ghost, I whispered. Invisible, watching, waiting, until the right moment. A knock at the door made me jump. I peeked through the peephole. A delivery boy, oblivious to the storm inside me. I exhaled slowly. Not yet, I muttered. I started planning. Observing patterns, watching routines. Hina went to the cafe at 9. Cameron left for work at 8:30. They laughed in public, flaunted their happiness. But I noticed cracks, the irritation in Cameron's eyes when Hina asked questions, the way she hesitated before smiling at him. Small, almost imperceptible, but there. They think it's perfect, I whispered, voice low, almost reverent. They think they're untouchable. I traced my plan with meticulous care. Each step measured. Each movement calculated. But beneath it all, the anger never faded. The betrayal burned hotter than ever. I trusted you, Hina, I said softly, pacing again. I gave you everything, and you chose him. Saad's voice in my mind, this isn't just about them. It's about you, man. You get to choose who you become now. I nodded to myself. I won't let this destroy me. I'll survive. I'll rise. And when the time comes, they'll see. They'll all see. I thought about confronting them now, barging into their life, but no. Patience was a weapon I hadn't mastered before. I would be unseen, unheard, yet everywhere. My presence would unsettle them without a single word. They'll feel me, I whispered, gripping the edge of the table. They'll feel my shadow in every choice, in every breath they take. I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Pale, tired, but alive. Alive and burning with purpose. A ghost returned from the dead, with every memory of betrayal etched into my soul. This is my second chance, I murmured, touching the glass. And I will not waste it. The city lights flickered outside the window, reflecting off my eyes. Rage, sorrow, determination, all tangled into a single, unstoppable force. I had come back from the edge of death, and now, I was ready. They think life will go on without me, I whispered, voice low and dangerous. They have no idea. The storm has returned. And with that, I settled into the shadows, unseen, unheard, but very much alive. A presence waiting, watching, biding its time. One day, the perfect lives of Hina and Cameron would shatter, and I would be. I watched from the corner of the cafe, hidden behind a pillar. Hina laughed, her hair catching the sunlight as Cameron leaned close, whispering something that made her giggle. My chest tightened. Every laugh, every glance, every touch burned like acid. I can't believe she's really here, I whispered under my breath. She's living my life while I'm nothing. Saad's voice echoed in my mind, like a phantom from the past. Man, don't choke on your own anger. Watch, learn, strike when it matters. I clenched my fist. Strike, or what? Confront them? Expose them? Or just let them rot in their little world? Saad laughed quietly. Oh, you always think so dramatic. First breathe. Second watch. Third, figure out what revenge even looks like without losing yourself. Hina leaned on Cameron's shoulder, oblivious to the storm in my eyes. I love this place, she said softly. It reminds me of everything good. And me? Cameron asked, smirking. Am I part of the good, or just the luxury they sell? Hina laughed again. You're part of it, of course. You make me feel safe, loved. My heart sank. Safe? Loved. That was supposed to be my role. My name. My touch. Not his. Not him. They think I'm gone, I muttered. They think they've won. Saad's voice jabbed again. You let them think. That's good. You let the snakes believe they're kings of the garden. I took a shallow breath and studied them. Cameron's arrogance was there, yes, but I noticed something new. Hesitation, a flicker of doubt when Hina reached for his hand, or when he adjusted his watch nervously. They're hiding cracks, I whispered. Even in paradise there's rot. I moved closer, my footsteps silent, pretending to be just another customer. The smell of coffee, the chatter, the clinking of cups, it all felt surreal. I was alive but watching a life that had been mine. Hina ordered a pastry. One for me, and one for my favorite person, she said sweetly, glancing at Cameron. He smiled, but there was a twitch in his jaw I hadn't seen before. You always know how to pick me up, don't you? I can't do this, I whispered, voice breaking. Watching them, living what should have been mine. Everything stolen? Saad's voice was calm. You survived death, brother. You can survive this. But now it's time to think. Patience. Observation. Timing. I nodded to myself, swallowing the lump in my throat. Observation, timing, yes. I'll wait. I'll plan. I'll strike when the moment is theirs to lose. Cameron laughed suddenly, louder than intended. Hina tilted her head, curious. What is it? You'd be surprised how much I've done, he said smoothly. The job, the promotion, everything is falling into place. I froze. Every word was poison. The calm confidence, the subtle manipulation, it all clicked. He wasn't just a thief of my wife, he was ambitious, calculating, dangerous. They're playing a game I never agreed to, I whispered. And I need to know all the rules before I move. Saad snorted quietly. Rules, how? That's cute. Just make sure you're not the pawn this time. I bit my lip. My moral compass wavered. Could I expose them publicly? Would it satisfy me, or just make me lose whatever humanity I had left? Could I reclaim my life silently without giving them the satisfaction of knowing I'd survived? Hina laughed again, the sound twisting in my gut like a knife. Cameron's hand brushed hers and he leaned closer. You always were smart, Hina. But smart can be tiring. She doesn't see him, I whispered. She doesn't know I'm here. She never will if I don't let her. That's my power now, invisible, untouchable. Then I overheard Cameron mutter to someone on the phone. Yes, everything is proceeding as planned. No one suspects a thing, and once it's mine, nothing can stop me. My stomach dropped. There it was, the ambition, the deceit, the betrayal I hadn't fully seen before. This was bigger than I imagined. Bigger than just Hina. Cameron had plans and I had to be the storm that shattered them. They don't know the storm has returned, I whispered, fists tightening. And I'm going to make sure they feel it, every second of it. I leaned back, pretending to sip my coffee, eyes never leaving them. Hina smiled at Cameron, oblivious, unaware that the man she trusted most was about to face a reckoning he could never. I shouldn't have been there. I knew that the moment I parked down the street and saw the lights spilling from the hall. My heart pounded like a drum in my chest. Saad gripped my shoulder. Are you sure about this, man? He asked, voice low, tense. I have to see it, I whispered, trying to steady my shaking hands. I need to see her. I need to know. The door opened and a wave of laughter, music, and clinking glasses hit me. I froze. There she was. Hina. My Hina. Standing at the altar with Cameron. My stepfather. My blood ran cold, then hot, then cold again. I couldn't breathe. Is this really happening? I muttered under my breath. Saad's hand tightened on mine. Yeah, it's happening. I couldn't look away. Hina's hair was pinned perfectly, her smile radiant but strange, different. She looked happy and my chest ached with disbelief. Had I imagined our years together? Had everything been a lie? She's smiling, I said, voice cracking. She looks happy. You're not supposed to be here, Saad said, trying to pull me back. This isn't good for you. I can't leave, I snapped, my voice louder than I intended. I need to see. I need to understand why. I watched her speak, her voice soft, filled with warmth I thought was only for me. My memories flashed, our arguments, our laughter, her tears. The woman I had loved with everything in me, now standing beside the man I had despised, my own stepfather. She was supposed to wait for me, I muttered, jaw tight. She promised? Saad's grip was firm. Promises mean nothing when people change, man. Look at her. She moved on. You need to accept it. I shook my head. No. I can't accept it. I can't believe it. Hina laughed at something Cameron said. My stomach twisted. That laugh, the sound I used to cherish, now cut me like a knife. I tried to remember the woman I knew, to understand what had happened to us, to her. She's different, I whispered. She changed. Saad stayed silent, watching me crumble in real time. It's her choice, he said finally. Not yours. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run forward and stop it, to tell her I was alive, that none of this should be happening. But the fear, the shock, and the betrayal held me frozen in place. She married him, my Hina, my wife, married him, I said over and over in my head. I noticed the subtle way she had changed. The tilt of her head, the way she touched her bouquet, the way her eyes softened when she looked at Cameron. Every detail screamed betrayal and my mind couldn't process it. She never looked at me like that, never, I muttered. She looked at me with doubt, and now, she looks at him with My hands were shaking so badly I had to grip the edge of the car window where I had been watching from across the street. Saad's voice broke through my haze. You need to breathe. Watch, don't let it destroy you completely. I wanted to turn away, but I couldn't. Every fiber of me ached to see her, to witness the life she had chosen without me. Rage and heartbreak warred inside me. She didn't even wait. She moved on like I didn't exist, I said, whispering the truth I didn't want to admit. I loved her. I loved her more than myself, I muttered, voice trembling. And she chose him? My own stepfather? Saad didn't answer. He just watched, knowing there were no words. I noticed the guests clapping as Cameron held her hand. My chest felt hollow. The world was moving, celebrating, while I was nothing. Gone. Erased. She's happy. She's happy without me, I said, the words tasting bitter. A memory hit me, the arguments we'd had, the moments I'd ignored signs, the time I had trusted her completely. And now, this, a mockery of everything I had loved. Look at her, I whispered, voice breaking. Does she even remember me? Saad shook his head. Let go, man. She chose her path. You have to find yours. I couldn't. Not yet. Not when betrayal burned like fire through every vein. I stayed hidden, watching them exchange vows, feeling every word cut me deeper. She smiled at him like she never smiled at me, I muttered, tears stinging my eyes. All those years. I gave everything, and this is the reward. Saad touched my shoulder again. We'll figure this out. You're alive. You have time. Don't let her choices define you forever. I nodded, though the knot in my chest refused to loosen. I kept watching. Every laugh, every glance, every gesture from her was a blow and a lesson at once. And in that moment, as the music swelled and vows were exchanged, I made a silent promise to myself. I would return. I would reclaim what they thought they had stolen. I would make them see Hina, Cameron, everyone. I wasn't gone. And the fire of betrayal would become the weapon. I stepped into the room, every nerve on fire. The familiar scent of Hina's perfume hit me first, sharp and intoxicating, pulling me back into memories I'd tried to bury. My hands shook, my chest heaved, but I forced my voice steady. Hina, I said, barely above a whisper. Her head snapped toward me. Her eyes widened so much I thought they'd pop. You? Yes, I said, taking a step closer. It's me. Alive. And I know everything. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. No sound came out. Cameron's face drained of color. His confident smirk vanished, replaced by panic. What are you talking about? Cameron stammered, stepping in front of Hina. This isn't possible. I was dead, I said, my voice hard now. Presumed dead. And you, both of you, moved on. You replaced me. Hina's lips trembled. I didn't know what to do. I thought you were gone forever. You thought I was gone forever? I laughed bitterly, the sound hollow in the room. And you chose him? I pointed at Cameron, my hands trembling. The man I should have trusted, my stepfather. Cameron's hands lifted defensively. Listen, don't you dare speak. I snapped, stepping closer, the rage mixing with a strange, dangerous thrill. I trusted you both. I loved you, Hina. And you stabbed me in the heart. Hina's shoulders shook as tears ran down her cheeks. I was scared. Scared and alone. You were gone. I didn't know how to survive. I survived, I said, my voice quieter now, my throat tight. I came back. And now I'm here. Watching the truth of your betrayal stare me in the face. Cameron swallowed hard, sweat forming on his brow. I didn't know. You didn't know? I cut in sharply. You smiled. You schemed. You acted like everything was yours to take. And you, Hina, you let him take what belonged to me. I thought I could. I don't know. Her sobs filled the room. I thought I was doing the right thing. The right thing. I whispered, my anger twisting into disbelief. Hina, the right thing would have been telling me the truth. The right thing would have been waiting for me, trusting me like I trusted you. Saad's words echoed in my mind. Patience, observation, timing. I knew I had the upper hand, yet fear clawed at me. Fear of rejection. Fear of losing what little piece remained in me, fear of my own heart betraying me. You're alive, she finally whispered, trembling. I can't believe it. Yes, I'm alive, I said, my voice steadying with a surge of power. And now you have to face the consequences of your choices. Cameron stepped closer, eyes darting between us. Wait, we can explain. Wasn't. I didn't. Save it, I growled. Every lie, every smile, every stolen moment, it ends now. Look at me. Really look at me. Hina's gaze fell to the floor. I'm sorry, she whispered. Sorry. I laughed, bitter and raw. Sorry doesn't fix betrayal. Sorry doesn't bring back the years I lost, the nights I cried thinking you were mine alone, gone forever. Tears blurred her vision. I never stopped. I never meant to hurt you. You never meant to hurt me? I repeated, my voice cracking, trembling hands gripping the edge of the table. Do you know what it feels like to die, and come back to find your world stolen by the people you loved most? Cameron shifted nervously. Look, I can make this right. No, I said, my voice cold. You can't. Nothing can fix what's been done. But I can make sure you feel the weight of your choices. I can make sure the truth is seen, felt, understood. Hina stepped forward, reaching out. Please don't leave me. I flinched, heart pounding. A part of me, the part that still loved her, ached, longed to take her into my arms and forgive. But another part, stronger now, demanded justice, demanded recognition of my pain. I can't, I whispered, shaking my head. I loved you, Hina. I still care. But I cannot return to the life you destroyed. Not now. Not ever. Her sobs filled the room, and Cameron looked like he wanted to shrink into the floor. I took a deep breath, feeling the shift inside me. The balance had changed. Fear, confusion, power, and vulnerability collided. I'm alive, I said softly, almost to myself. And now you will live knowing the truth. You will live with the fear and guilt that comes from what you've done. I am not yours to manipulate, to hurt, to betray. Hina's hands fell to her sides and she sank to the floor, shaking. Cameron stepped back, unsure, defeated. And for the first time I felt a strange clarity, a pulse of something I hadn't felt in years. Control. I was back and nothing would ever be the same. Saad's words rang in my ears one last time. You survived. You returned. Now they feel it. I exhaled slowly, letting the weight of the moment sink in. The room was tense, broken, raw, but it was. I sat in the dim light of my small apartment, the walls closing in, my mind racing. Saad paced in front of me, phone in hand, shaking his head. You're telling me they planned all of this? I asked, voice barely steady. Exactly that, Saad said, throwing his hands up. Hina knew what she was doing. Cameron, he played you from the start. The evidence is here. He tapped his phone insistently. Look at these messages. Dates, times, meetings. Everything lined up perfectly to make you disappear. I felt bile rise in my throat. I can't. I don't want to believe it. She loved me, didn't she? Saad laughed bitterly. Loved you? She loved the idea of power, of security. And him, he craved control. You were just in the way. I pressed my face into my hands. I keep remembering the wedding, the way she smiled at him, the way she looked at me. Empty. Was that all fake? Rania's voice cut through my thoughts, sharp and precise. It wasn't fake. It was calculated. Every step she took, every word she spoke to you, it was to manipulate, to guide you away so Cameron could have her. I whirled toward her. You knew? You never told me? Rania shrugged, crossing her arms. And have you believed me? No. You'd never listen. You were blind with love. I tried to warn you, but you ignored every sign. Saad leaned closer, lowering his voice. The worst part? Cameron wasn't just ambitious at home. His career moves, his connections, they're all tied to this. He used her as bait and you were the obstacle. Once you were gone, everything fell into place. I sank back into the chair, the room spinning. I can't believe this. Every memory, every word, every promise. Lies. My hands trembled as I clenched them. They lied to me. They planned it like a trap. Rania stepped closer, eyes cold. It wasn't just a trap. It was a betrayal. Pure and simple. And you survived. That alone changes the balance. You need to understand he can't hide anymore. I closed my eyes, replaying every scene in my mind. Hina laughing beside Cameron, pretending to care, the subtle whispers I'd never caught before, the excuses, the late-night meetings. All of it, they used me. Saad placed a steady hand on my shoulder. Listen, I know it hurts. I know you loved her more than yourself. But the truth is out. You can either let it destroy you or decide what you want next. Revenge or closure. I shook my head, words choked in my throat. Closure. I don't think I can forgive. But revenge feels wrong too. I don't want to become like them. Rania smirked. You're stronger than they think. But stronger doesn't mean blind. Use your head, not just your heart. Decide carefully. I looked at them both, feeling the weight of the revelation settle deep in my chest. Every smile, every touch, every whispered promise from Hina, tainted. The betrayal wasn't sudden, it was meticulously planned. Saad's voice broke through my thoughts again. And don't forget, while you were lost in grief, they thrived. Cameron, Hina, they built their world on lies. You survived. That gives you power. I clenched my fists, eyes burning. Power? Yes. I survived. I can act now and they can't hide. But I need to choose carefully. I can't let anger blind me. I can't let love or hate decide my next move. Rania crossed her arms again. You're finally seeing clearly. Use it. Think of every lie, every betrayal, every manipulation. Decide what this moment means for you. I leaned back, exhaling slowly, my mind a storm of disbelief, anger, and reluctant clarity. Hina's betrayal was premeditated. Cameron's ambition was ruthless. And yet, the power was shifting. They had underestimated me. Saad tapped my shoulder again. Whatever you decide, I've got your back. But remember, timing is everything. Don't rush. Let them stumble in their own lies while you plan carefully. I nodded slowly, a cold determination settling over me. The moral dilemma clawed at my soul, revenge or closure. But now, with every secret unveiled, the path forward was clearer. I could feel the first threads of strategy weaving in my mind. Hina had thought she could destroy me. Cameron had thought he controlled everything. Both were wrong. The game had just begun. And I was ready to decide. I stared at the folder on my table, the evidence stacked like loaded bullets. My hands hovered over it, trembling. Saad stood near the window, arms crossed, eyes fixed on me. Say it, I whispered. Tell me I'm not losing my mind. You're not, Saad said. But you're standing at a crossroads. One wrong move and you'll burn everything, including yourself. I swallowed hard. I don't want to burn. I just want justice. He scoffed. Justice? Or revenge? Be honest for once. I clenched my jaw. Both, maybe. Saad stepped closer. Then decide which one you want more. Because the path is different. I exhaled shakily. I need to talk to her. Alone. Fine, he said. But don't go in blind. Don't let her twist your mind again. I nodded. I won't. I cornered Hina outside her new house just as she ended a phone call. She froze when she saw me. Her hand shook so badly she dropped her keys. I thought you weren't coming back, she stammered. We need to talk, I said. Her voice cracked. What do you want from me? The truth, I replied. Start there. She backed against the gate. I swear. I didn't know what else to do. Cameron said. I cut her off. Don't say his name. Not yet. Her breath hitched. You're scaring me. Good, I said. Because I should scare you. You helped bury me alive. She covered her mouth. I didn't mean for things to go that far. You're lying again, I said. And I have proof this time. Her eyes widened. Proof? I opened my phone and played one recording, Cameron's voice bragging about cleaning up obstacles. Hina's face drained of color. I didn't know he said that, she whispered. You were part of it, I said. You pushed me away. You hid things. You lied constantly. Don't tell me you didn't know. She grabbed my arm. Please, listen to me. He manipulated me too. I pulled my arm away. You expect me to believe that? After everything? She sniffed. You have every right to hate me. I don't want your permission, I replied. I want the truth. She shook her head and whispered, I did love you, once. But Cameron promised me safety, security, a future. And I was what? I asked. Disposable? Her voice cracked again. Wait, you were too kind, too trusting. And he said kindness wouldn't survive in this world. I stared at her, my chest hollow. So you betrayed me because I wasn't cruel enough? She looked away. I made choices I thought would protect me. From what? I asked. From me? No, she whispered. From him. I stepped back. You're only afraid now because you got caught. Her voice trembled. What do you want to do with the evidence? I don't know, I said. But you should be terrified of what I can do. She covered her face, shaking. Please, don't destroy me. I walked away before my anger swallowed me whole. I met Cameron next. He didn't see me at first. He was adjusting his tie in the mirror, humming. When he finally noticed my reflection behind him, he froze. His voice dropped. You. I stepped forward. Surprised to see your dead stepson standing behind you? He backed away slowly. Listen, whatever you think. I know, I interrupted. I know everything. He swallowed hard. Hina talked to you? I didn't need her, I said. I have recordings, messages, deals you made behind my back. Beads of sweat formed on his forehead. We can settle this. You want money? Position? Favor? I laughed bitterly. You still think everything can be bought. He tried to smile. That's how the world works. And that's why I'm here, I said. To end your version of the world. His voice cracked. Wait, let's talk. We can negotiate. You don't negotiate with people you tried to erase, I said. He lunged a step forward. Give me the evidence. I stepped back. Try touching me. See what happens. He froze, breathing heavily. What are you planning? I held his gaze. You'll know soon. He whispered, don't ruin me. I whispered back, you ruined yourself. I walked out as he muttered curses under his breath, his voice shaking for the first time in his life. Back at Saad's apartment, I told him everything. He listened silently, rubbing his forehead. So, he asked, where do you stand now? I sank onto the couch. I don't know. Talking to them didn't give me closure. Just more questions. More anger. Saad sat beside me. Revenge won't fix your heart. I stared at the floor. And forgiveness won't fix the truth. He sighed. Then what will? I shook my head. Maybe nothing. Maybe the goal isn't healing. Maybe it's clarity. Saad leaned back. So what's your next move? I opened the folder again. Photos. Dates. Screenshots. Voice clips. Everything that could end them. He watched me closely. Your hands are shaking. I know, I whispered. Because this is the moment. One decision could crush them forever. One decision could turn me into them. Saad placed a hand on my shoulder. Whatever you choose, make sure you can live with it. I nodded, staring at the evidence. That's the problem. I don't know which version of me survives after this. My grip tightened. Justice, revenge, closure, each word felt heavier than the last. I closed my eyes and held the power to destroy them. I watched from the cafe across the street as Cameron's phone rang non-stop. I could see his hand trembling through the glass. Saad leaned beside me, shaking his head. They're panicking, he whispered. Finally, I muttered. After everything, they're feeling what I felt. Cameron stumbled out of his office, shouting at his assistant. How did this leak? Who told them? I smirked. Guess people don't like being cheated. Aisha sat quietly beside me, her hand brushing mine lightly. No judgment. No chaos. Just calm. Are you okay? She asked softly. I nodded. Better than I have in years. Across the street, Hina's car pulled up. She stepped out, face pale, eyes darting. Her heels clicked against the pavement like tiny accusations. Hina, I murmured. Look at you now. She froze, seeing me for the first time since the confrontation. Her lips trembled. I didn't, she started. You didn't what? I interrupted. You didn't think about me? About us? About everything you destroyed? Her eyes filled with tears. I'm sorry. I didn't know it would go this far. I swear. Spare me, I said. Your words mean nothing now. You built this house on lies and it's collapsing. Cameron appeared behind her, hair messy, face red with anger and fear. Stop talking. You can't. You can't stop reality, I said calmly. You can't stop karma. He stepped closer, attempting a fake smile. Listen, we can fix this. Give me the chance. I laughed, bitter and hollow. Fix this? Oh, by lying again? By manipulating someone else? Your time is over. Hina covered her face with her hands. Please, don't humiliate me in front of everyone. I shook my head. You humiliated yourself every day since you chose him over me. This is just the mirror. You don't need to go further. Let them crumble naturally. I exhaled slowly. I know. It feels surreal seeing them fall without my hand touching them. A group of people gathered near Cameron's office building. Phones out, whispers spreading like wildfire. Hina's parents passed by, their faces tight with disappointment. Even Rania turned away, avoiding eye contact. I felt a flicker of sadness. Even with all this, I can't feel pure joy. Aisha squeezed my hand. It's okay. You don't have to. You're not them. You survived. That's enough. I nodded, taking in the scene. Cameron's face twisted in rage as his phone rang endlessly. Hina's eyes were wide with panic. Both of them were trapped in a world they thought they controlled. Do they even realize what they lost? I whispered. They will, Saad said. And it will hurt worse than any words you could have said. Ayesha's gaze met Mina. Look at me. You're free. Let them be. Let yourself be. I closed my eyes for a moment, breathing deeply. Free, yes. Finally. From across the street, Hina whispered something to Cameron. I didn't care to hear. I already knew. The guilt, the regret, the fear, all of it. Their empire of lies was gone, and they had no one to blame but themselves. I felt a strange mixture of relief and emptiness. Relief that justice unfolded, emptiness because part of me had once loved Hina deeply. Saad nudged me again. Time to go. Let's leave them with their mess. I nodded. Yes, their downfall is complete. And I can finally start. Aisha walked beside me, steady and calm. Unlike the chaos I left behind, she offered balance. A quiet life. A chance to rebuild without betrayal weighing me down. I glanced back one last time. Cameron was arguing with a security guard, shouting incoherently. Hina sat on the curb, sobbing uncontrollably. I whispered to myself, almost inaudibly, justice, but not my happiness. That I'll create on my own. We turned the corner, walking away from the ruins of the lives they thought they controlled. And for the first time in years I sat at the small table, papers spread before me. The divorce documents gleamed under the soft morning light. Hina stood across from me, eyes wide, pleading. Please, don't do this, she whispered. I gave you everything, I said slowly, voice calm but firm. But I can't give you my future. She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. We can fix this. I'll change. I swear. No, interrupta gently. You won't. And even if you could, it wouldn't matter. I've waited long enough to realize the truth. Her hands trembled as she reached for mine. I love you. I always have. You don't, I said quietly. Not the way I loved you. I was enough once, but not anymore. I see that now. I picked up the pen. My hand shook slightly, but I forced steady breath. This is for both of us. Closure. Hina fell silent, clutching her chest. You'll regret this, she murmured. I smiled faintly, almost kindly. Regret is yours to carry. I'm choosing peace. Aisha stood a few steps behind me, her eyes warm and steady. You're doing the right thing, she said softly. For yourself. Not for anyone else. I nodded at her, grateful for her presence. No chaos, no betrayal, just quiet understanding. Hina's gaze dropped to the papers. You're serious. I've never been more serious about anything, I said, signing the first page. The pen scratched softly, a quiet punctuation to years of pain. She flinched at the sound. Is this really it? Yes, I said, my voice firm but gentle. I forgive not because I owe you but because I'm done being hurt. And I love myself enough to move on. The ink dried and I slid the signed papers toward her. She stared at them, mouth open, before picking them up shakily. I don't understand, she whispered. You don't need to, I said. You never did. This is my life now and it's mine to live freely. I stood and took a deep breath. The house felt empty, echoing the silence of my choice. On the table lay the broken wedding rings, shattered reminders of what I survived. Hina sank onto the sofa, silent now, defeated. I didn't feel hate. Not anymore. Just clarity. Aisha stepped closer. Are you ready? She asked. I nodded. More than ever. We walked out together, leaving the quiet house behind. The morning sun painted the sky in soft oranges and pinks, gentle light warming the streets. Each step I took felt lighter than the last, as though the weight of betrayal had finally lifted. I thought about all the nights I cried alone, all the moments I doubted myself. And now, here I was, finally choosing me. Hina called after me, her voice faint. Sajil. I didn't turn. My silence was my answer, a barrier that no words could break. I had nothing left to say to someone who never truly saw me. As we stepped into the street, I inhaled deeply. The air was fresh, filled with possibility. Each breath reminded me that life wasn't over. My story didn't end in betrayal. It was reborn in freedom. Aisha smiled beside me. No pressure, no expectations. Just the gentle presence of someone who could be part of my new beginning. I glanced back one last time. The house stood quiet, empty, a relic of the past. The broken rings gleamed faintly on the table, symbols of pain endured and strength gained. This is it, I whispered to myself. My life, my choice. Nothing else matters. And with that, I walked forward. I remember that night like a movie playing in slow motion. The rain pelted against the windshield, every drop a tiny drum of chaos. Hina sat beside me, silent, her hands gripping her purse. I broke the silence first. Hina, are we really okay? I asked, my voice barely above the rain. She didn't look at me. I don't know, I just feel like you don't listen, she said, voice tight. I swallowed hard. I listen. I always listen. What's wrong? She turned her gaze to the window. Her eyes reflected the blur of the wet street lights. It's Cameron. I feel suffocated by him. You don't understand how he pressures me. I felt a tightness in my chest. Cameron, my stepfather, always controlling, always proud. Hina, he's your family. I can't. She cut me off. It's not about family. It's about me. You don't see it. Her words struck me. I opened my mouth, but the words died before they came out. Saad's warning echoed in my head. Be careful, he's not what he seems. And she might not be either. Hina, look at me, I tried again. She finally turned, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. I don't know if this marriage, if you even notice me anymore. I notice you. I love you. My voice cracked. I've always loved you. Everything I do is for us. Her laugh was hollow, a sound I had never heard before. Love. Is that what you call it? You think love is enough? Cameron, he listens, he understands me in ways you don't. Maybe I should have seen it sooner. A shiver ran down my spine. Hina, what are you saying? She looked away again. Nothing. It doesn't matter. Just drive. I gripped the wheel tighter, the car swaying slightly on the slick road. The tension in the air was unbearable. Hina, talk to me. Please. Tell me what's happening. She was silent for a long moment. I can't do this anymore, she whispered. The words hit me like a bullet. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Do what? I asked, voice trembling. Her hand brushed mine, cold, distant. I'm leaving. I can't stay with you. Not like this. No, you can't. Hina, don't say that. Don't leave me. My chest tightened. My vision blurred with rain and panic. I have to. I need space. I can't. I tried to reach for her, but the car fishtailed on a patch of water. Screeching tires, the roar of an engine out of control, and then everything went black. I woke up to darkness, not understanding. My body felt heavy, unreal. My last thought before the void took me completely was a single desperate whisper. I hope they remember me. I hope she knows. Earlier that evening, memories flickered through my mind. Saad had warned me again at the cafe. Look man, I don't want to scare you, but Hina? I don't know. She's changed. Cameron, he's slick. Watch out. I had laughed, dismissing it. Saad, you're paranoid. Hina loves me. But now, everything seemed different. Every smile I remembered, every soft word tainted. Had I been blind? Had I ignored the signs because I wanted to believe in her? Even Rania's sneering words at family gatherings returned to me. You don't deserve her. Not with him hovering around. I dismissed them too, thinking jealousy. I should have known. I should have seen. The car crash wasn't just metal and rain, it was the shattering of a life I thought was mine. Hina's words, Cameron's shadow over our lives, my own naivety, all converged in that instant. And as I drifted into the darkness, a cold thought wrapped itself around me. Betrayal had already begun. The people I loved, the people I trusted, they were no longer mine. My last heartbeat, slow and heavy, whispered the truth I hadn't wanted to admit. I had been too blind, too in love, too trusting. And now I was gone. Gone,